Hi everyone, my name is Enrique and welcome to another review. And once again, we are reviewing the episodes from number one Sentai Gozyuger. Now, it's important to remember that yes, I made a video called the Maya Imamori controversy, and I'm sure a lot of you watching this video or watching the show is gonna feel awkward or even sad that she's not part of it anymore. But guys, just try to keep in mind that these shows are for fun, or at the very least, trying to keep in mind that this is just my opinions on the episodes. Try to, at the very least, to just enjoy my opinions and what I can add to the episodes or what I think of them. If you don't like the Gozyuger or you feel uncomfortable watching it, knowing those facts, then yeah, you feel free to skip this video, to skip the show entirely. It's your right. It's your free will. That's not my decision to make. It's yours. But if you want to stick around and just listen to me rambling about my opinions on this series, then go ahead. Feel free to sit down and enjoy my opinions. So, with all that said, I'm here to review episodes 11 to 14. I didn't include 15 because of a specific reason, and you will hear that when I get to it. But in the meantime, let's just talk about the episodes that came out, and in my opinion, one of the best episodes that came from this series. So let's talk about them. Episode 11 is pretty much focusing on a new ranger, or in this case, a new red ranger that is using the original mantle from one of the original ones. So the episode starts as usual. We see Rico, who's practicing his music, when he encounters two men who are jealous of him, who claim that their girlfriends leave them because of Rico's music and he's popular. So they use the powers of Suoja and Sun Vulcan to fight him to no avail. So basically Rico kicks their ass and takes their rings. And that cuts the attention of a certain person that we see in the background, which we are going to see throughout the entire episode. So we see that the four members of Gozyuger, Hoeru, Rico, Ryuji, and Kinjino, are receiving some special boxes from the guy who wore the powers of Zyuranger, you know, the Red Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. He gave them special boxes for them to install their rings, so they can collect and gather them in one box, at the very least individually, but it's good to know that he still supports them no matter what. That's where they encounter a guy who is pretty much a cowboy playing from an ocarina. His name is Gaia. This guy makes an impressive presentation. He's like a loner who is almost like a cowboy, and he actually has a very cool, very smooth, very, reserved demeanor. And yeah, this guy is basically introducing himself. Then the monster of the week attacks, which is basically no one tag monster. Basically that he is number one at tag challenges. So that prompts the four members of Gozyuger to go after him and play his little game. And that's where Gaia comes and he introduces his powers, which are the ring from Hikaju Sentai Gaoranger. I hope I pronounced it well, but yeah, this guy is this universe's version of Gaoranger. Now, this guy already is cool enough, but man, see him doing the transforming sequence with the claps and everything makes him look so much cool. And I figure that this is going to be related to Rico, because they both wear the lion theme into their powers. So yeah, and we see that Gaia is basically an animal tamer. He uses music in order to control the animals. especially people who has the powers of the animals. Like for example, he uses some sort of kalimba. I think that's what it's called, the instrument kalimba, in which manages to control Hoeru and uses him to play the game of tag perfectly. Then he uses some sort of music of horses in order to control Sumino, who is not in the fight, but she is in a building where the tag monster is on top of. She's trying to get into a meeting or at the very least an interview. Then she gets caught up with the powers. I don't know how, but I guess that the powers of Gaoranger allow him to control all the animals of Gozyuger from distance. I have no idea, but it's ridiculously funny and I enjoyed it. So yeah, he manages to defeat the tag monster in tag, but they need to fight in the final battle. This is something that gets Rico up a hands because pretty much Gaia is calling him out from being, egotistical or something. We learn from one of the few flashbacks, or at the very least a cute, like a one-cut blink and you miss scene. Well, not so much a blink and you miss, but a very short flashback to a woman. We don't know who that is, but he calls her Luna, or Luna, depending on the subtitles. Subtitles in Super Sentai are weird, man. But yeah. Basically, this flashback while he plays the flute brings a very painful and tragic memory, which we are going to learn in the next episode. But for now, we see that all members of Gozyuger are fighting. They're fighting the henchmen. They're fighting the Lady Bouquet in her mecha suit. They manage to defeat the tag monster. Hoeru manages to defeat him without ripping or trying to extract a person inside, which we're gonna get into. And we see Rico using the powers of Sun Vulcan and Zyuger to his advantage in order to delay Gaoret. After the tag monster is defeated, it is then learned that the monster inside, the person inside, it was actually another monster in which Gaia recognizes, and he is charging at it, which leads us to episode 12. So episode 12, in my opinion, is probably the best episode of Gozyuger. In my humble opinion, I don't know about you guys, but man, when it comes to this, it's not only tragic, but also very uplifting, and there is good acting here, man. Like, it's a really good tribute to Gaoranger. So we start where we left off in episode 11. We see the monster inside, who is called Oni No One, which is pretty much a version or a reference to Loki, who most of you know as Senaku from Wild Force. This is basically a version of the No Ones, and it is revealed that inside the monster it is the woman called Luna, who Gaia is trying to save, but it is done very complicated. The monster ends up destroying the bag where Gaia had all his instruments to control the animals in the Gozyugers, and we are revealed, or we learned that Gaia had a fiance, which is Luna. They're both animal people. Gaia was kind of a ranger, a forest ranger, while Luna was basically like a medical, or at the very least animal carer. It's hard to remember, but they both love animals. They were going into the wild or in the forest one day when suddenly Luna falls into a rift. She falls down, and in that very moment, the No One monsters start to possess her. But while it's happening, Luna dies from her injuries, causing the Oni No One to get out of control, prompting Lady Bouquet to use another generative ability to put the tag no one that we saw in episode 11 to control the Oninoan. So basically we learn a lot more from how the monsters are created. Like I said, there were AI monsters created by the villains of this week of the show, which are created by Kwon, who is Gayudo, Lady Bouquet and Fire Candle. But yeah, basically the tag monster, the tag no one, had inside the Oninoan, which was possessing a dead Luna, which prompted Gaia to be alone, but also to find a way to free her. So he tells that story to the rest of the members of Gozyuger. The Rico, for the first time, is showing a little bit of compassion, which is something to remember. While Rico can be a little bit of an egotist, or at the very least someone who you think is just thinking about himself, it turns out that he has a huge heart and that he's actually taking care of the people. He cares for people. He makes music to make people happy, which is honestly very courageous and uplifting at the same time. And he's sympathetic to the story of Gaia, who remembers the time where he was playing the ocarina and Luna was singing a song. Now this song, for those who don't know, it was a song that came from the show Gaoranger. If you listen to it, you know that it comes from the princess, or from the priestess, who was also female, who sung to one of the swords, or one of the animal swords that we see. It's similar to, think about it this. If you've seen Wild Force, you probably know Princess Sheila as well as Merrick. Did they use songs in order to calm the deer sword down and to join the Wild Force Rangers? Well, that is what happened in Gaoranger as well. And this is a reference to one of the songs that priestess from Gaoranger was singing. And here, it's honestly one of my favorite songs from this series. It's honestly very sad, yet at the same time is very peaceful and uplifting. It's definitely one of the best parts, and that's what makes this episode so great. So what happens after that is that all the henchmen, Kwon as Garyudo, and the Oninoan appear. The Gozyuger and Gaia appear as well. They all enter into a fight. Gaia is prepared to die if it means to free Luna's soul, until Rico in the Tegasol the Blood mecha, he starts singing in order to calm the Oni monster and to make Gaia realize that he has to free Luna without him dying. So that's what he does. He decides to use the flute in order to sing the song. We see pretty much a number one battle sequence that we saw. It's different from the others because it's basically a more dark, a more twisted version of Gaoranger. Basically, we see Luna in a possessed state, claiming that she hates Gaia for dying, for her death, and then Gaia is willing to use love and music to free Luna's soul. And that's where Gao King, the Megazord from Wild Force, Gao King appears. And that's where Gaia uses the sword, or the Megazord, to control it and to fight the Oni monster. It allows the opportunity for Hoeru to send his dagger, his wolf dagger, to Rico, in which they form the formation Tegasor Blue Deca Claw, which opens a rift inside the Oni monster, and Gaia goes inside in order to free Luna. So he does that. He manages to snap Luna to her senses, But because, like I said, she's dying, she's already dead. That means that she cannot be alive again. But she promises to Gaia that in the next life they will meet each other again. And she leaves the Oni monster as a soul, and that allows the opportunity for Gaia and Rico to attack and destroy the monster using their swords. Meanwhile, Luna is singing that peaceful song. Gaia in the end gives the Gaoranger ring to Rico and promises to live on for Luna's memory. And that is the end of that episode. Not only, like I said, it's a great tribute to Gaoranger, but more than that, it's a great, interesting story that doesn't necessarily include the Gozyuger members, but it definitely shows that other people with other plights and other problems we see how Gaia reacts to all this situation, how he has survival's guilt, and how he's trying his best to free the love of his life from the clutches of the enemy and make amends. That is something that I really enjoyed from this episode, and I will watch it over and over again. It also allows us to see another side of Rico, because like I said, Rico could have just sit back and just pretend that he didn't care, but it shows that he has a true goody two-shoes nature, that he's a good guy inside, that he's not all about selfishness and fame. It's about being kind, and he uses his music to do good things. Some guys don't see that, but at the same time, he just cares about his people, his friends, and the music that he makes. And don't worry, we will learn a lot from Rico later, but yeah, this is a great introduction to him, showing us a different side of him. So yeah, I definitely enjoy this episode a lot. Now let's talk about episode 13. This one is focused on the Yellow Ranger of Gozyuger, in this case Ryuji, and we will learn a lot from these two episodes. First, the episode starts with Ryuji and Hoeru buying some stuff. An old man is showing that he's upset that Hoeru doesn't have matters, and he wants to show the rest of the world what matters look like, and that prompts the bad guys to generate another no one. It's called the Matter or the Gentle No One. Basically using his powers to force people to be more gentle or to have more manners. My mom will love this guy and would probably use it to make me learn some manners. But yeah, this not only caught the attention of the two members, Ryuji and Hoeru wearing a heavy ring that the monster puts him in. It prompts the attention of one of the Sentai warriors, in this case a woman, using the powers of Carranger. Yeah, the one that Power Rangers was based on, Power Rangers Turbo. And this is the one that they used. Carranger, it was basically about cars and traffic safety. And that's exactly what she uses. It turns out that she manages to kick the monster's ass while teaching it to have manners as well, and it prompts Ryuji to recognize that warrior, which is not only the Red Racer, the female Red Racer, but also the maid leader called Shoko-san, or in this case Shoko. She is actually the maid of Ryuji's family. And that's where we were shocked, because this guy was pretty much a priest, or a guy who was a zealot, a guy who was selling the Zell cult of Tegasort. It's hard to say. Like, this guy is a believer in take a sword, and it turns out that he was rich with a lot of money, or has a family with rich history, and that's what we learn through these episodes. So after he sees that it was Shoko, the maid, who was wearing the rings power, he runs to the cafeteria where he owns, and then Shoko appears there, where she served coffee by Kinjino, and it's ridiculous. But yeah, we learned that Shoko is there to bring Ryuji back to the family home, and we learned that Ryuji doesn't want anything to do with his family. He doesn't want Shoko to bring him in because he has his own path to follow. Take a sword. She holds some sort of a gift that she gives to herself, which prompts some history as well. We see that the monster, the No One monster, is still creating some issues or some disturbance while trying to teach people manners. We see Kwon in the shadows plotting his strategy to acquire the rings. We then see a battle between Ryuji and the Man or No One monster, and it's hilarious. We see them be kind and gentle to Hueru, trying to teach him some manners, while Hueru's color is getting heavy and heavy the more it grows. And we see that Shoko using the transformation sequence to become the Red Racer from Gaoranger, and it's actually pretty cool. It's actually the first time, if I'm not mistaken, that we see a Red Ranger female in Gozyuger, for the first time at least. So that it's cool to see. We see a battle between forces. We see Rico using the powers of Gaoranger to fight Rico. We see that Sumino acquires the powers of Ginga Man from Shiny Knife and Mrs. Cakefire. That's Sweet Cake, sorry, Cakefire. But yeah, they managed to get rings. Kwon in his Garyudo form hunting them down. Then we see Ryuji defeating the monster, which prompts the Shoko-san to lose control of her powers and becomes a delinquent Red Racer. It's ridiculous, but she looks good in that delinquent form. So that leads us to the final episode of this for now, episode 14. We not only see the problems that Shoko is causing as the delinquent Red Racer, but we see Ryuji telling the others about his history, that he has a family of surgeons, that his father is a very famous doctor who performs a lot of successful surgeries. He wanted Ryuji to follow in his steps, but he felt like that wasn't his path. Then he uncovers a book that is telling the legend of Tega's sword, which allow him as a kid to read about these passages, how he learned about Tega's sword, how he got enthralled into the whole history of Tega's sword, how he became a devoted religious man from Tega's sword from here and there. And we also see that he showed kindness to a young kid, Shoko, when she made a mistake. Ryuji showed that he was actually very kind to her, and to show that he wanted to be kind to this young woman, because he understood that his father, it was very difficult, that his entire family can be difficult sometimes. So yeah, I enjoyed it. That actually prompts Sumino to approach him quickly, and because remember, well, Sumino is actually an ace detective. She's not necessarily a very rich woman, and she is trying her best to get luxurious or high class jobs. And listening to Ryoji's history, it prompts her to pop her card, so in case of anything. It's ridiculous, but yeah. Basically, all the members of Gozyuger decide to support Ryuji and his endeavors, and in order to stop Shoko from causing more trouble. They lure her outside of the city, which prompt her to use her powers to freeze the members of Gozyuger. She freezes Hoeru, Riko, Sumino, and Kinjino, and that leads Ryoji to fight her in order to free her from her crazy powers. So that happens. We see his fate that he puts to take a sword, and yeah, we see a fun fight between Ryoji and Shoko in their forms, in their ranger forms. And in the end, we see Ryoji successfully defeating Shoko, is snapping out of her crazy state, which prompted Garyudo, Shiny Knife, and Sweet Cake to come in along with the other forces. We see that Kuon acquired the powers of Gaoranger and Lifeman and uses it to fight the Gozyugers, and that's what we see. We see Sweet Cake and Shiny Knife going to giant sides, and Ryuji using Tega Sword the Yellow to fight them and successfully defeat them. Shoko at the same time is supporting his boss and friend, and decides to give back the powers of the Gaoranger, which ends very well for them. And you know, I have to say that it had some very romantic undertones. I noticed that Shoko and Ryuji have some kind of a romantic chemistry. I don't know, that's just me. And the episode ends with Ryuji showing his devotion to take a sword, which prompt him to feel a little awkward as well as others. But man, do I enjoy this character. But yeah, those are episodes 11 and 14. Very fun, very entertaining. We'll learn more about Gosyu Leon and Gosyu Yellow and Gosyu Tirano, which are Riko and Ryuji. We got a great episode in episode 12. We learn about the powers, what they can make to people, how much of an extension they have, and it was just fun. It was just fun to see. We learn that other people's powers and problems, and I enjoyed it. That was part of why I enjoyed Gozyuger. It wasn't just talking about the original cast, but see how people use the powers of the original Sentai with different people. You know, it's fun to see that. It's just fun to see. And hey, I look forward to talk about the other episodes of the series. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys next time. If you can watch the episodes from 11 to 12. 12 is the best, like I said. And yeah, I hope one day I talk about the other episodes of Gozyuger. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed my opinions and thoughts about this episode, let me know in the comment section. And if you like this video, give it a like. And if you have more to say, then please leave it in the comments, subscribe to this channel, and yeah, that's all for now. I'm Enrique, and I'll see you next time. Peace.